on everywhere as Bev will pick up on to exist. They've got that player advantage to work with. And again, you talked about that vent control. We can see him mauling him out. It caught Prism last time, but he's not here this time.
Good opening fight. They take the space and the reaggress from BETCLIC coming in. Flash from a site. Oh, extinct.
Picked up on Prism. Looking for another, but Demo, he's been just an anchor. Unfortunately, goes down immediately. Artist to Cloku to Bev. Everybody getting a piece of the pie for a moment. Friend on the op again and may just be looking to save one more time.
He's trying to split the net here. He knows they had bombed down and he's found the timing to get towards Z, but as he pitter-patters back towards Truck, I think they heard it. Last resort, take that space gained early. Find B site, and I think that save will come through. You're right. 4-3 now for last resort. Unless crazy scenes can happen from the Opera on the CT side, and as the bank accounts start to weigh for a couple, Prism and Cloku, I think it's got to be that save. Nice job, last resort. Play trades in towards mid, stay aggressive on that highway line, and well, you can see the bodies strewn throughout mid to give them that easy advantage.
Yeah, and it feels like they're just quick to get that vent control. We see Bev now busting out through mid, finding it relatively early. He's got cover from the boost. He drops the molly in toward vents to make sure no one's there. And they're starting to see some more success toward this vent.
I just hope that we'll call it the rigid play style of the last resort doesn't come back to haunt them. Movement clean as Vacancy chases down this final frag. He knows he hit him too.
Oh, does he just swing?
I don't think so.
Finding it after timer would be beautiful.
Now is going to be the time when BETCLIC's individuals have to step up, right? What have they seen in the last 2 rounds? They've seen patient, good utility from the last resort on a timing with a swing. Yes, one of them was slow, one of them was fast. The individuals from BETCLIC need to start shooting back. I think they're trying a little bit too much team play, and I know that's a kind of an oxymoron to say, right? Like, hey, don't do what you should be doing. But as of right now, it's not working. BETCLIC are winning rounds because the individuals step up. Easy spray downs at A site, easy spray downs at B site, easy deagle shots gifted to them from the last resort. But outside of individuals from BETCLIC standing up, last resort are winning. So I think BETCLIC in this round need to get aggressive in the mid and take a fight to them. And it looks like they're starting right now with A main clear. I like it.
See Prism get activated here as well. Still sitting on that breadstick. But you're right. You know, you talked about the patience from last resort here. They've been able to utilize that well. Maybe looking to play a few mind games here. Back to where the B side exists. Able to find the first one, though. And they've got a player advantage to work with, finally.
Tuck in tight on site, Cloku. You got support from Heavens. It's not much.
Yeah, friends. The op struggles. We saw it yesterday with Becker. Cloku finds the double as Artist will just power on the side and claim his kill. Molly in toward Heaven. You can see the double stack up there, but in through Vince, Draft making his way. Beautiful swing from Prism, though, and that's what we talked about. Getting Prism activated, setting himself up for some kills, getting a little bit of more of that comfortability back. Draft in toward Checkers, the lone member here, and he can't find exist.
Easy does it. Great hold for Cloku backside. He just dodges and dances around the utility for the time being. And then maybe some poor pathing, a little bit too much of a speed up there from last resort as they enter in. They figured, hey, we got that first frag on the Opera pushing a smoke in Heaven. It should be an easy clear backside, but 12 seconds eaten off the clock before that first contact even finds Cloku on that execute. And that forces the rotates perfectly. And you can see Artist there, a little wipe of the brow as he's wondering what the hell just happened. That was a 5v4 open B site. Rotates were late from Giraffe. And BETCLIC, find it. Individuals step up. But let's get after it now. This should be a pretty perfect purchase from both sides, if my economical decision-making is correct. But we'll see. Yeah, pretty close. A couple of Galils on the T side. Enough utility to execute. But what's the plan? Last resort, round 9. Spam through that mid window, maybe. I'd love to see Extinct with $2,500 get a helmet because these Galils act like 8Ks if not. Gets himself a kit, though.
Need to see that op put to good use as well. Haven't really seen it get activated in these last 2 or 3 rounds. And there's Prism getting aggressive. Right into the face. Extinct is here. He's going to spot the dome first, but they power out together. Trade comes in immediately, so job is done, too. toward A main to it highway, and a pre-fire from Exist is almost perfect. Timo, he has just been unstoppable at this A site. Cloaku's going to pick up Artist, and that quick momentum that was being gathered by Last Resort looks to be taken away by BETCLIC now.
Easy does it. A couple doubles for them as they kind of break the banks of Last Resort. Individuals starting to step up now. BETCLIC not trying to play so fancy. They're not looking for the flash fights towards mid. They're just falling back and holding their lines. They understand the pressure of Cash is mid control. It is Vents control. And you can see as that pressure came up towards highway, it was relieved quite quickly by a checkers push on the B side. Cloaku's pounce finds 2. And it should be a 6 to 4, but we know my map pick percentage or round pick percentage is pretty low. It's just Glocks and a P250 for Artists, so it should be a 6 here. Please, BETCLIC, call me a liar.
I mean, it just seems like those ecos have a ton of success when we're in the booth, Mr. HB. So
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's just the way of the Counter-Strike, and you know that's why we love this game.
Yeah, there's our home right there. Our red box in mid on Cash.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
Hot Sauce and I are we're competitive Cash players.
Yeah, not to be stifled with our offense, but Exists.
Yeah,
Can he
buddy,
find
we
the
love it.
ace? No, Giraffe will deny it. Exists, though. The damage done. He pops out. He finds the quadra. One shy, but he's got plenty of teammates to finish off the round. And BETCLIC seeming to just be very comfortable. Every time we cut to this screen, it's fist bumps, it's laughs, it's smiles, and it seems like they're just falling into their play style now that these first few rounds are gone.
Yeah, that's we'll call that one a freebie anyways. It's just a P250. Yeah. But that was a drop from heaven, peek into B main. A flash peek towards A main, all information gained, and as Last Resort stomp through mid, they just close that gap highway and C for a 5-1 trade. Not bad. But back to basics here as Last Resort do have a purchase. It's lacking utility, so they want the space. Beef spotted. Not dealt with, though. Mid conceded. Last Resort default started, almost completed. They just got to grab that Vents control.
That's here almost every time an Exist is ready. He claims the dome and sends him home. It's a free 6 feet dirt nap as they try to make their way into Vent, but the call has come out and Cloaku and crew are prepped and ready.
It's a B split. Flash in. Cloaku first.
Oh, they seem good. He gets the double. Extinct only good for 1 as Prism has picked it up quite a bit. He said, ask and you shall receive from the breadstick to 5. And now Giraffe finds himself in a familiar position all alone, this time in a 1v4.
Now, if anybody can do it, it's him. He's piecing this puzzle together. Cloaku or Prism, elusive back sight, but he sees clearly, finds that free fight. Now, again, space gained in mid. Last Resort take it, and they take it quickly. Prism say, yeah, no problem, dude. We know what you're doing. They just fall back. You're not up highway. You're not to white box. You just smoked off Z. You're not fighting through that smoke. What's that Z player do? Stand in the smoke? No, he backs up. He's sitting front CT spawn, and as they hear that vent break, he rotates in and flashes through heaven. Backside fight from Cloaku, good for 2. Prism's survivability even better, and that gives BETCLIC a 7-4 lead. Poor purchase for the last round here for Last Resort, but they're going to go back to what worked. A-site hit.
Stampede out friend is here, and he will put the op to work. Prism has come alive since we asked him to. Extinct and everybody just filling their role nicely. 8-4, your halftime score. And I mean, it's not horrible from the T side, but with their start, I was expecting a little more.
Yeah, that the Deagles put them in their place, right? Clean pistol and conversion, we love it, sounds good. But again, a very rigid team. Last Resort play one style. It's how Artist, how his brush hits that board and says, this is the picture I'm painting for the round. You will follow it, and we'll have a Bob Ross. But as that half comes to an end, 8-4, you can see the stake odds changing. 1.2 for BETCLIC, 4.40 for Last Resort. And I'm sure some of these yesterday for HOTU against EAC were like 10 to 1.02, and EAC pulled it across the line. So anything's possible. Last Resort's favored CT side. Let's see what they can get done.
Anything is possible. As you see those odds disappear, a friendly reminder that code PULSE35, all you got to do is deposit $20. You'll get 35 into your account by logging in every day for 7 days. Artist only good for one, and friend of demo, powering through mid, find 2 picks. That opens up a few opportunities for them now.
Minimap never lies, chat. Keep your eyes right there, glued in. It's going to be vacancy here to defend. P2000 clocks, but it lacks the frags. CloQ dismantles him up in heaven. It's a 4v2 post. Extinct and Giraffe. It's pistol round. I don't want to say you have to go for this, but 9 on the board for BETCLIC here, unless miracles happen. Put it on burst.
Why not?
Why not?
Put a little gamble here. You know what I'm saying? Demo.
Oh.
In toward Vince, though. He's comfortable. Extinct, not able to make it happen. Giraffe, he's kind of been that star, at least early on here for Last Resort, but he is that last resort at the moment in a 4v1, needing to put the USP to work, and he's clicking heads. Needs 3 more. Not going to be able to do it, though. CloQ, trusted on site, will be that stone wall to stand tall one more time.
Well, this first test for Last Resort on land outside of their home country, not starting off great. The individuals, they understand what's happening, but the pressure builds and they can't find the frags. This is pistol round, of course. Your job is get 1 and survive. If you can do that, you win the round. It sounds easy. It really does. But when the boys from BETCLIC Apogee come online, I don't know, not a fun time. Single flash for Artist. Group stack towards B site. Giraffe going to make headway towards A. But it is BETCLIC just sagging out across the line, waiting for that first fight. Gifted here for friend.
Patience will pay off as Extinct steps into the crosshair, and friend will punish him. 3 more tucked toward the side, and maybe action about towards Squeaky here. That's going to be Dimho. Waiting just on the other side. A single member here. Pressure through highway. Prism will find 1, and friend just picks up the rest. He's holding it down alone.
The only problem with that round right there is the fact that BETCLIC didn't lose anybody. So on the first rifle round of Last Resort, the op is not going to be in the hands of friend on the T side. Right? That's not a negative, but it kind of is, right? You're opper on a map that oppers tend to thrive on, right? You can take the fast peak mid, you can boost over, you can fight into A main. Flash utility is very easy to support those fights on this kind of map. You can throw mid flashes from 4 different locations. How do you want to take your fight? It can happen this time, as it is rifles for everybody. M4's V8, CloQ quick to mid.
Extinct will deal with him nicely, though. Maybe a little bit of breathing room for Last Resort as they're still searching for their first round here from the CT side on this full buy round. Well, their best chance to do it so far. Pop on the flash. Pressure on to site. Giraffe. Little Shroud over here. And he does peek out. Perfect timing. Finds the first. Can he get a second? He needs it, but no, it's denied by friend. There's a lot of pressure coming up highway here. 1 above, friend. For it, though. Extinct has made his way onto site. Prism will pick up the Bev. Keeping it a 3v3, but the Molly is getting hot and heavy. And down to 10 health as he tucks in, but Peekaboo, Extinct's behind you. He shifts in toward the back and side, and Last Resort turns the round around.
This comes from that opening pick from Extinct towards mid. He does what we should do. Grab vents control, and he holds it. This allows the B rotate to go away from B site towards truck on A. It falls back that Z connector fight towards A site as well. And Last Resort ready. They batten down the hatches as that fight comes through. And the only question I truly have about that round is, why was friend on a Galil? He finds a 4K in the previous against the Eco with the AK, and he's second out on a Galil. I don't know. A couple of trades as 5 survived the previous, but this time it's a heavy-handed win for Last Resort. They find that first CT round, and that might just be the floodgates. No op still on the T side.
You know, I mean, we saw a couple of stale rounds with friend on that op, and obviously had a couple great rounds as well, but he's been shooting nice with this rifle, so maybe we want to just keep that in the hands here on this attacking side as CloQ will eat all of that nade. It's a chunky one. Demo will fall to the weaponry of Giraffe, and Last Resort making a good stand here from the CT side as the Molly rains down. Vacancy.
Oh!
He won't be able to illuminate the no on the side. There's plenty of rooms available here as CloQ finds a second extinct up above, and this Molly's going to force him away.
That's playing Counter-Strike like me. Hey, the hit's coming through. Allow me to flash for myself to get a team ace. It's like, no, it's not going to happen, bro. You're going to get run over immediately. A quick slide through the smoke and BETCLIC. Gonna be sight like a can of worms. That bomb still has to cross. And as the pressure's applied from Last Resort, their utility runs dry. One Molly, one flash left on the side. Extinct. Elects to toss it heaven. I think that stops the retake attempt right there. Giraffe gets tickled. An artist says, nay, nay, I want the AK. 11 on the board for BETCLIC. More than doubling the Last Resort, and this is their map pick. Scary scenes.
You know, that's something that we kind of talked about, right? It felt like the map pool slightly favored the Last Resort when you look at the stats. And if they could find a way to win cash, it felt like we were going to go to Ancient and have an insane series. But if BETCLIC closes this down in dominating fashion and then heads to a stronger map of theirs like Anubis, you know, it may just be that 2-0 that we alluded to a little earlier today.
Well, what's that old saying? It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Oh.
And I don't think anybody from the Last Resort side wants to go down this quietly. Their CT side needs to start activating Artist on the big green. Happy to see it, but where does he want to take that first fight? He's got kind of not a great spawn to drop for the B fight. He could get flashed into A main late. But it's going to come down to his opening pick, right? We saw Extinct get boosted over the sandbags position, find that first frag, and it was all gravy after that. But it comes down to mid-vents control for both these teams, and how quickly can they get it? Reverse boost, maybe. Giraffe loves to get stuck into that position. But with no op on the BETCLIC side, it's going to be utility dominant, something that we saw Last Resort use a couple of times, but not to the greatest of results. BETCLIC should try to force this op to fight, or at least try to find it, before they do anything crazy, because if they allow Artists to, as I use the pun again, paint his pretty picture, it might not go so well for them.
I'd love to see him get Bev into position to find a couple frags and just maybe get a little weight off the shoulders there. 3 and 15. We saw him playing with that aggression in that first half, and fortunately just not quite paying off in his favor. He's going to tuck in toward mid, though, and maybe display some of that patience.
This is B main pressure we alluded to a little bit. BETCLIC, they know they need this space. They understand the point of vents control. They're looking to fight, but Extinct on a little bit of an island here. His fallback won't be so powerful, but this Molly will.
Beautiful. Beautiful timing to force Demo away. And
missed vent Molly.
Slowing it down a little bit here.
Well, they've confirmed one thing. Their vent Molly sucks. It didn't work.
Caught me off guard with that one as I was taking a sip of water, my friend.
Sorry, buddy.
A much slower round than we're used to. Bev will take away from that flash. We can see.
Did he just get B-site for free?
Little smoke and mirrors. It draws our attention. Prism's going to shift in. He finds vacancy in the 180 toward Vent Bev. The struggles continue. Exist dropped at mid from Giraffe, and they do reel it back, though. Last Resort, they desperately need a round, and they may just get it here. Demo, 13 health and a dream.
Money's not looking good either for BETCLIC. I wouldn't be surprised to call this save. Yep, here it goes. An attack timeout after this. BETCLIC, they fumbled 3 pieces of utility that round. Molly to right side mid, it didn't quite catch Extinct deep enough. He was able to smoke in front of it, which plumed, gave him space to play. They didn't really clear into vents quickly enough. Their Molly missed the opportunity. And then a solo push onto the B site with a missed tree smoke. Gaps on gaps on gaps. Vacancy takes advantage, and the rest of Last Resort lap it up. Easy win for them. But I don't see the coach yapping from the Last Resort side, so maybe no tack timeout. BETCLIC happy with it.
Well, we always say consistency is king and consistency is key. That's what it's going to take for the rest of this matchup here for Last Resort if they want to find a way to reel it back, because BETCLIC, as we love to say, one away from one away and ready to shut down cash here. But rifles in hand, the bet die not the best here for BETCLIC, so they're going to have to work the magic a bit.
Ooh, Giraffe getting shroud boosted this time. This is a position not used often, and namesake, the Canadian Shroud, made it so with a CZ. He's going to be draft with an M4 this time, and he might go overlooked. This is going to be a vents pop, or a squeaky door pop.
And shots rain through, but there's Giraffe on that boost. They don't check it.
There's 3 members of BETCLIC just kind of stuck here.
I mean, the silver lining, right, is they've got 1 minute and 5 left on the clock. So they've got some time to work with, and we do see him begin to cheat back toward mid here.
How much space does Last Resort know that they've given up, and how much do they want to retake? Artist, half a mind for it, but that's a lot of angles that you're over clearing. You have no support from the highway side. Vents technically compromised. Pokes and prods instead. Info gained. And BETCLIC struggling through this force buy round. 30 seconds to go, and the sight's bolstered from both. It's got to be a BETCLIC clean headshot round. Smoke to fade towards highway side, and the cross collected. Uh-oh.
And they catch the timing into Artist here. He looks back just in time. He's ready for the second as well. Bodies and blood littered outside of Z as Artist paints the walls red. Now exists Demo. Last 2 here as time will expire, and maybe look to hold on to that AK, but Last Resort slowly chipping away at the lead now.
Crack starting to show. This is BETCLIC without the usage of good utility, right? We still haven't seen that cross mid smokes to take the space towards vent. We've seen the miss molly. So maybe this is a chance, right? Like BETCLIC were shooting pretty powerfully on their CT side. It came down to Last Resort fumbling their lines. But now it's kind of the opposite way. T side, nothing going yet. And as they find themselves onto a save, this should be the Last Resort to capitalize. Again, Artists op finding success late round there on that hold towards Z connector. A little bit of a missed tether for the BETCLIC side to chase down that frag towards truck. But if they can find their footing, open up a site, do something cheeky, maybe a grouped push through the utility, they might be able to find it. But I think that's Artists right there in the center saying, boys, watch out for the push.
Yeah, maybe talking to Bev a little bit there as well. Bev still trying to get off those 3 kills. Has been stuck there for a little while. But I guess if you're winning rounds, you know, as long as the job's getting done, they can't complain too much. But, you know, it's always tough mentally as well when you're struggling to find frags.
Oh, this is the call from Artist. 3 towards the B site. A block early.
Oh! Vacancy. Takes the head clean off the shoulders of Exist. But could do it. Looks like they still want to go this direction. Around that hero rifle of Demo.
Extinct is very stuck here, though. Demo, the one with the rifle and the armor, did take this fight back sight, and he does. Extinct caught in checkers. No need to peek yet. The crossfire established from back sight. Opening now for BETCLIC as the time starts to expire, I guess. 70 seconds. And you can see the minimap restricted for the Last Resort. No space.
Thought we might see a rotation come in, but BETCLIC seems pretty determined to head toward this site here, and Last Resort posted up. It's going to be Bev and Vacancy tucked on the side, and this might just be an opportunity for Bev to find a few of those picks.
If they call this early enough, rotate from Artist, has a flash.
Backs off a bit, then will find a pick before being traded out. Vacancy, good for the first, needs at least a second here as well, and he's done big damage. Nade comes in, and it collects as well. Artist down to 16 on the op. Vacancy, the double up here to close it out. Last Resort will post an 8th, and you start to wonder if maybe BETCLIC feels that pressure with each and every one of these rounds here from Last Resort.
Yeah, for sure. Vacancy of 4K on the B side as well, starting to bolster his own confidence. Again, it's an eco, but it's not an easy thing to do. Find 4 frags from a determined team pushing in. Good setup early to find that space. Not a great trade, I don't think, out of Extinct towards that checkers side, but it is what it is. An 8th posted and a scoreline within 3. Still no op for BETCLIC Apogee on the T side just yet. Instead, it's Tech 9s to try to fill the void, and Events Boost comes through.
Haven't seen Last Resort utilize this boost just yet. Bring towards Sunroom and BETCLIC. Maybe looking to see if Last Resort will get overly aggressive anywhere here as Prism up on the boost.
I just watched Giraffe Molly NBK corner on A site. Was that a missed Molly? Or did he feel some sort of pressure that didn't exist? It was like a Molly to kind of corral the squeaky door push. Seemed weird.
Doesn't look like Last Resort's taking the bait. They all shift toward mid where that kid seems to be waiting on the other side. Bev, maybe getting those kills toward that B side has activated him. We're seeing him in that kill feed more now, and that's exactly what Last Resort needs if they want to bring this back. Demo finds the extinct. They look to pressure toward the site, though, and it is Vacancy making that stand. Good for another. There, can he find the triple? Swaps to the pistol, shoots from the hip, and dips in the whip. My man, a monster. Demo toward mid to Khalil. How does that feel, Artist? And he's going to scoop up the op here.
Dawn, 9 on the board. Last Resort CT side standing tall, and it's, I don't want to say it's more than anything, because it is, don't get me wrong, but it's not more than utility. It's not more than them just individually shooting. There is no team play coming back from the BETCLIC side. It's like they're going into rounds without a plan. This is a new map. This is not one that they tend to play. This is an Inferno banning team that also didn't like to play Overpass. So trying to get into that rhythm on a new map against a team that definitely plays it, they did well to get 8 on their CT side, but now 13, ever elusive as they head back towards B.
And even if they can find 12, you get a little breathing room. You know you're guaranteed at least OT. They're going to quicken the pace here. Pressure onto the site. They've got control. Smoke plumes out, and as the molly hits, Prism will drop the bomb.
You got to expend those builds. Last Resort need to use that util. There it is. Good start.
And they finalize it. Fine still standing. Hips in hand, still some time to work with. They'll pressure forward, smokes out, one in forward checkers, and Vacancy through the sky finds one. Extinct from heaven, dropping down the Demo. Exist on the Tech 9. That's not fine enough. Friend will follow suit. And guess who? It's Bev. He has really begun to pick it up here in these last few rounds.
That's a prime example of the fact that Last Resort play this map. They give up B site on an eco. Great survival from Vacancy to get the info as he pokes towards B main from the heavens. And then utility bombarded, a good smoke to block, a flash to peek, and trade central. BETCLIC. Maybe egg on their face after this one. That lead seemed divine, but as it closes to within 1, still no op for the T side.
Where have all those smiles gone? They
there
have
goes.
faded away, and it goes from bad to worse. Extinct finds him through the window at mid.
Extinct can't find a frag fighting into mid garage with support of smoke utility and nade, but then off the rip he goes, you know what, I'll just spam through that window from Z connector, and he absolutely destroys Cloaky in the most important BETCLIC round.
Access denied, Vacancy. Down to 14, Extinct falls. Artist will pick up on the Prism. And it's looking like we might have a tied game here, Mr. HP.
Uh-oh. Never doubted them once. Artist gets over an op.
Oh!
Demo, 10 HP, 1v4. This is the Last Resort, foot on the gas saying, we know everything, we're going to run this one down. But with 50 seconds to go, a peculiar position as they don't have bomb control. Draft and Vacancy double up with an AK on the other side in the hands of Demo, one of the longest standing members of BETCLIC Apogee, probably for a reason. He has the ability to do this, but he's going to walk right back to the arms.
Yeah, it's tough. The fact that Vacancy's leading that charge with only 10 health, he's able to be traded out by the teammate, and just a job well done playing the buddy system.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess so. It took 3 deaths to find that one frag at 10 HP. A super clean round from Last Resort until the final hour. Gets scary. Artist, CZ, maybe boosted into Shroud, my friend? I don't think so. Round 23, we're going the distance, and it's a Last Resort tack timeout, rightfully so. The coach going, boys, what are you doing? You know where that final player was. You're just sprinting to your own demise. You had the bomb down in useless. Why? Why are we losing so many? But it is what it is. Tack timeout gives a chance to the coach at BETCLIC to wrap to his team as well. Guys, 2 rounds. It's now getting exceedingly difficult to find those rounds. And a cheeky little smile between Artist and Beeve means they got a plan set in motion. Tack timeout lifted. Buy time expiring, round 23. Winner take all of this one, I think.
It feels like it. It certainly feels like it. This might be the most important round of cash. You see Bev tucking in towards sandbags. Artist looking to apply a little help here. Has to wait for that molly to fade away. And BETCLIC just showing a little patience here to kick things off.
Trade a utility towards B main as well. That pressure constantly applied. Cloak's going to continue. Seemed like utility was traded perfectly there for the last resort. Missed molly from Extinct. It is what it is. But that's info gained. And info lost as B main becomes evacuated for BETCLIC. Oh, Artist. A little NA style nade, if you will. And I can say that because I'm from NA. But he deals out a heavy hand to Extinct. Or Exist, sorry.
Up on this boost. Maybe flirting with disaster a little bit. Popping open squeaky draft. Here's the audio cue. He's ready for the stampede out A main, and he's got some help here. Boosted up over the top. It's Giraffe to Artist. Cloku eventually finding Giraffe. They've made their way onto site. Bev is here to apply some assistance for Artist above.
They're quick on this retake too. 3 already arrived. They're going to wait for Vacancy to come in with a flash nade combo, but they go ahead of the curve.
Find Exist. Only 2 standing here for BETCLIC, and they're at risk of losing the lead so late in this one. But Prism, he's not ready to be done. Extinct raining down from above. He'll drop to safety, and Prism in a 3v1 will pop the flash. Dashes to the side, finds the first. Tuck it in. Here comes the spray, and Vacancy hits it all day. Plenty of time on the clock. Last resort. Down 8-4 at halftime. Will garner the lead.
Dude, hearts racing, bro. Look at the smiles right now, but that pendulum swings heavy. One chance to close out their map pick. And from the depths of despair, an 8-4 half turned worse without a pistol. But they seem to bare their teeth here. BETCLIC fumbled on that A site. They had a 5v5 post on B as well. Easily dissected in the last resort. Showing their net worth here on cash.
Hoping to keep that win streak alive. Certainly making a name for themselves here. Big Pulse beat 1 as they don't let the numbers affect the mental. They power through, and in this second half have been phenomenal. One more to close it out, and Giraffe smoked off the line.
I don't know if he has to fight forward on this or take a risk to find one. Flash is sublime as they enter site. Vacancy stands through the smoke to try to make this a little easier, and it's Giraffe's time to pounce for a 2-piece.
Talk about this. Got done. Giraffe. It's all in the last resort has completed the comeback. They take their map pick of cash 13-11. It comes down to the wire. BETCLIC's going to be wanting revenge here on Anubis.
That's probably a really good feeling, right? You win the pistol, you convert it quite cleanly, you have the rifles against the Deagles, and a little bit of a fumble bust there from Last Resort on their T side, and it accumulates 8-4 on the half. But of course, Artist, picture in his mind, says, let's just play our game. They set up for some retakes on the B site and A, and obviously by design, through routine and practice, they climb that tall hill. 13-11. Last Resort up good. But now, as we wait for Anubis to come through, we'll probably take a little bit of a break here. What do you say, Hot Sauce?
Yeah, as we head on out, I want to remind everybody, code PULSE35. All you got to do is deposit $20 and you get a free 35 weekly reload. That just entails logging in every day for that $5 for 7 days a week. A great time to take advantage of it during the break. Stretch those legs, grab those snacks, but don't go too far. When we come back, we've got more Counter-Strike action. Welcome back, everybody. Stake Pulse Beat 1, Day 2, 16 teams, $60,000 on the line. Last Resort able to take their map pick of cash. BETCLIC and I are headed to Anubis. My name, Hot Sauce, still here with a legendary Mr. Henry Bat. Thoughts on Anubis, my friend?
I think that came down to a stellar CT side from Last Resort. The Anchors of Vacancy and Giraffe did that damn thing. 1.66 and 1.32 rating as they stoically hold back the Polish onslaught. Now their CT side, BETCLIC's that is, pretty powerful. It seemed like they had an understanding of how to shoot. Last Resort did everything they could. They grabbed vents control, they pounced on sites properly, utility was landing. But they just couldn't hit the shots. When they switched over, it became a struggle bus for BETCLIC, as I don't think they have the reps on cash that Last Resort does. But it is what it is. 1 to the good for Last Resort. Now we go on to the underplayed map of Anubis for Last Resort. BETCLIC grasping at straws, I think, for this one, as they probably could have picked Dust 2. They probably could have picked Nuke. But instead, they change it, and they say, Anubis it is, because you don't play it. So maybe we're going to see map 3 after all.
Now we see those odds begin to sway down there at the bottom. 1.92 for BETCLIC versus the 1.78 of Last Resort. Again, code PULSE35, deposit 20, get 35 by logging in every day for 7 days. Anubis, I feel like, does favor, I mean, at least statistically, right? We love our statistics, but those tend to go out the window once the action starts popping off. 10 maps, 60% win rate versus the 2 maps with no win rate for Last Resort. Everything on paper favors BETCLIC here for Anubis. So I would have to lean that way as well. I'm hoping to see Ancient.
I'm hoping to see it as well. I know this Last Resort squad, based on how they play cash, they're rigid, right? They have their set play. They say this is how we're going to run it, and you will. Artists' dream to get out of that UK scene might just come true right now. If they can grab water control with that T-side start early, if they can thwart any kind of regress towards mid, if they can fight and take E-box and A main space, especially with about a minute on the clock, I think the T side of Last Resort might be pretty strong. This BETCLIC side, though, on their CT side, at least on cash, they loved to refight into B main. They loved to fight and bang out in towards mid. So it's going to be a grimy affair to start. I think it's going to be, now, no team ever wins a game in the first half. I think it's going to be a second half to truly decide this. It's probably going to be that close 6-6 half, maybe 7-5 leaning in the way of BETCLIC, only because it's their map pick. But I think it's going to be dominance once they get onto that T side, because Last Resort might fumble and bumble around. They don't really play this map as often, right? This is like, hey, we played Overpass. We didn't play Anubis. Oh, Overpass is gone. Okay, we'll start playing Cash now, and we'll keep Anubis out of the map pool. Because it is difficult to try to find 6 of those 7 maps to find perfection on. You have 3 that you're good at, 3 that you're okay at, and 1 that you ban. And this happens to be one of those, like, oh, we're okay at it for Last Resort. So BETCLIC, yeah. I don't want to say should come away with the win, but I'd love to see Ancient as well.
Yeah, and I agree. And I feel like even so, already Last Resort has done their job. They won cash. So they get to see Ancient at a minimum where, you know, again, you look at the stats and they're favored when it comes to Ancient. Maybe only slightly, but is a slight favoritism there. So they've done their job, in my opinion, but if they really want to prove that they are the real deal, if they could take this map away from BETCLIC, I think everybody then should start to believe, right? On a 4-match win streak, BETCLIC certainly nothing to scoff at. So if they can find a way to 2-0 BETCLIC, I think it's time to start thinking about Last Resort being the real deal here.
Very much agreed. And for the Last Resort, they're going to need Beeve to step up. A 0.40 rating. An absolute atrocious scene over on cash. 7 frags in a 24-round affair never feels good. So hopefully that little break between maps, he was able to, you know, smoke, joke, have a good time, you know, make fun of himself a little bit, mentally reset. And being with this squad for the amount of time he has been, I don't doubt that they gave him the pump up that he needs. Final member of the team, Beeve, as we speak, to get himself ready on this server, he needed that extra minute, but he's got lots of time to do it. As we saw BETCLIC on the other side, not quite in position just yet. Final member grabbing his seat right there. So I think I think Beeve maybe needs to change his pace up on this map. Either apply extreme patience or be the cannon fodder for Vacancy and Giraffe to trade off of, right? Because if you die and you get a trade, that's better than just dying for nothing. So we'll have to see. T-side start for Last Resort. Again, name of the game, water control and patience. Early CT utility towards T-stairs sometimes indicates the space to be gained, but as the map develops, grows, the meta changes, the Molly nade combo into that new window. Starting to lean a little bit more towards mid control on the T-side, the way Anubis used to be played. Hot sauce. I need a prediction now. What do you think the score of map 2 is going to be? And who will win?
You know, the underdogs have kind of got me here. I'm kind of pulling for the Last Resort, but
okay.
you know, I do still think that BETCLIC is going to buckle down. It is their map pick. They should be way more comfortable here. So I still think this one favors BETCLIC in probably 13-8 fashion is my guess.
Okay. That's a pretty heavy-handed win. We're going to have to see what happens. Favorite T-side start for Last Resort as the faux knife round was completed. Odds seem to favor what you said there. 3.10 for Last Resort. Even coming off that pretty clean map win on Ancient. 13-11. It was still pretty clean.
Yeah. Especially with the comeback that unfolded in front of our very eyes. Last Resort, though, on this T side. And considering an A push, we can see, I believe that's Exist and Dimho locking down that site. Friend toward mid here, and we'll see if maybe he takes a peek through window.
Important fight right now. This smoke needs to be dropped clean. CloQ ready with, he's got dualies? Yeah, dualies. Smash through that smoke. Spots the first. Drops and retreats.
He doesn't even get a chance to really let those dualies sing. Extinct the Giraffe, and they pick up right where they left off. Clicking heads. Demo on the dualies will back away from that smoke. Plant goes down, and 5 still standing.
I don't want to say it's an impossible retake, but save that armor for the next, boys. You're not getting anything done here. Giraffe, okay, and Extinct or Exist find the first 2. 3v3 now.
So forget your 3%, make it a 2% Maui stake, baby. We want this. Shots ringing out from a distance. Gush comes in, Artist fades away. Extinct the dualies. Time certainly on their side. But you see that smoke coming out. You know what that means. They're trying to shift under the guise of the smoke. And hold on, Mr. HB. BETCLIC says, what did you say? We can do this now.
No way, a 3v5 retake. You can see what it means to the boys as they slide by the skin of their teeth on that one. And a monumental fumble from the Last Resort as they didn't expect that smoke at the last second to block, and not a great way to lose a round after openings like that. Bomb planted 15-20 seconds in before that first contact even happens, and a swift reminder that the polls are still on the server. A 1-0 start for BETCLIC as the force buy returns for the Last Resort.
A little bit of a split for them as well. 3 down long B. BETCLIC is stacked 3 toward the site as well. They mirror out. Shots ringing down. Friend to CloQ. Prism will find one as well. And in sweet succession, they find 3.
Blink and you miss it. We got time to examine the mini-map here a little bit. The T-stairs smoke just starts to fade. A main is controlled. Water is the name of the game. Canals and water is what you're trying to grab if you are the T side on a rifle round. This is sort of where Beeve resides. By sort of, I mean it is exactly where he resides. Where he just came out of, A main, that's the second protocol. In towards E-box and top mid as well. These are 2 spaces that you have to clear out before you can execute. Because if you don't, there's just too many angles to cross and you'll get chopped up. BETCLIC set up in a 3-2 position here. They know they don't have to do too much. Just wait for contact. And this should be the 2-0 start.
Easy does it. Exist lines up the headshot. Bev on the MAC-10. We'll pressure in. We'll see if he can find a consolation prize on the way out. The way Dimho's been shooting. Well, okay, denied Bev. He struggled at the start of that last map, but we saw him really come alive in the latter half. And maybe looking to find some here. CloQ toward waterside picks it up, and BETCLIC will find the second.
Now it's eco territory for the T side. And I'm just trying to think about a map like Anubis. The way that BETCLIC's already starting to play it, they understand the choke points, they understand the fight forward protocols. Do they want to try to stand and bang early and get those eco frags, or do they want to just allow their utility to get burned out and secure the round? I would go with the former. I'd rather spend $1,000 worth of utility than lose my life, or even gain 2 eco frags. It looks like they're going to do just that. Go for the fight. Giraffe finds the first. Demo and CloQ, along with Exist, pull 3 back in the eco round by design.
We'll see if we can find any Deagle shots here on the Bev or Artist. But Demo, he's been that talisman for the majority of the day. He dances around with the pistol. My man's got the moves like Jagger and the swagger to boot. BETCLIC is feeling Anubis.
And this smiles right there. Look at that prism. IGL center sat. And I always say it, confident IGL means confident plays. If you're smiling and you have the oomph behind the command, the boys are going to listen. And a beautiful 3-0 start. But now, default time. This should be where the strict protocols from the last resort reign supreme. They got to get through that smoke on T-stairs. They have to grab A main control. They have to grab E-box. And before the refight from BETCLIC can come through, they have to take more space.
Try to eat up this space quickly, and they catch Friend on that op. What a great opening pick here. They made their way on the site, but Dimhall cheating around the edge of the smoke. He shifts under the guys, finds 2. Artist good for 1, but so much damage done. And as the nades rain down, there's just nowhere for Artist to go. BETCLIC looking flawless here on Anubis.
Something Last Resort just learned there, though, is they can take A main space with 2. Supportive flash coming over from the carpet side. They push in, but the fact that they didn't smoke E-box, there was no molly towards mid-window, no flash to try to support a B-site anchors staying in space. The rotate's just too quick from BETCLIC, and they arrive on scene. Lines to spray, clean, and a 4th found as Last Resort fumble their first rifle round. Onto the techies with some utility, and it's a change of pace here. Lurk smoke towards B is going to keep BETCLIC stuck on B site. E-box smoke as well makes them wary of this space towards water, but they don't seem to care too much.
BETCLIC has to know the economy isn't great over there. No need to get overzealous here, and we see that pressure beginning to come through mid. Love to see the explosiveness of the Tech 9s, and imagine just waiting for that time on the clock. We'll see some more utility rain down and that space being eaten up at mid now.
We have figured out the gap here. Time and space exists. Demo and exists. Maybe not for long.
What? How does he get 2 still? He swaps to the pistol yet again. Vacancy and Bev will find 2 of their own, and now CloQ almost catches Vacancy with util in hand. Plant eventually going down here. Friend back on the op. As Prism uses the util, Vacancy will find himself in the dirt. Bev to extinct. Combine for 2. Wow. And Last Resort has done it.
Wow, a nice little pinch over onto the A site there. And that's good utility usage from the Last Resort. You see them choke out that water control. They force the fighters to stay on B site. An early molly towards Temple side from water as well forces them back, and they're able to just split through their own camera smoke. Perfectly played. Post plants exceptional. And BETCLIC fumble their first in the same way Last Resort did over on Cash, and now it's the perfect purchase from both sides. M4s in the op supported by AKs and an op. Artist, where are you going for that first fight, my friend?
Early space. Taken toward this A site, but as that utility forces them away, we can see BETCLIC scrambling away from mid now, and that nade almost finds a home. Draft down to 87 as he gets a little haircut.
Well, A main not controlled by Last Resort. BETCLIC taking a gamble towards B as the pressure doesn't mount the same, and Demho at 9 and 2 entrusted to find at least 1 on A site.
Well, the patience pays off. Prism trying to get a little aggressive here, and fortunately pays the price. CloQ on the trade, tucked toward pillar, and Giraffe deals with it easily. Office here as well, and Friend goes down. He hasn't been able to put that big green machine to use. They know exists toward the back of the site, but he's found a second. And just like that, he keeps it an honest 2v2. Help is here and on the line.
Last Resort just fought through 4 on the B site, played trades perfectly, but they lose the bomb. Exist still tucked in, disconnected from Demho now, and they can isolate this fight. Vacancy looking for the room.
Beautiful nade. Nothing you can do there, but die. As Demo will find Artist again. Demo's consistently playing with next to no health. And the opportunity to clutch vacancy 75 on the board,
no.
and Demo has done it. This man is a monster.
That was a beautiful rotate as well for BETCLIC. I don't know who made that call to get them off A site and mid, but it was perfect. If they had one less on site, if Extinct hadn't gotten there, or whoever was the rotate in, I apologize, I missed it. That was over. That was an overwhelmed site. Last Resort had extra utility as well. Good fight forward for them into B main to gain the info. And Giraffe did the best work he possibly could with a 2-piece, but it wasn't enough. Surviving with 1 is, though, 4-5 on the board now for BETCLIC Apogee. And attack timeout called for the Last Resort. Again, we're going to keep our eyes on the minimap to start this match, or start this round. Smoke towards the E-box limits the ability for BETCLIC to fight forward, and they don't fight through it. They don't care. They're free to grab mid control because the mollies are not consistently landing. There's no smoke into house, which means BETCLIC can kind of stay and fight towards mid. We saw it in a previous. They got a little aggressive on it, looking for those top mid fights. And once A main feels no pressure, the rotates come back. BETCLIC finding their stride as it's 5 on the CT side.
See if they can make it 6. Full set of rifles in the out, back to the hands of Artist here. You see that spread across the mini-map here, pretty linear. Kind of being mirrored by BETCLIC as well, but Extinct is already through mid. Exist and him maybe about to go head-to-head. And he spots the arm as well. Spray comes in. Vacancy's the first to fall. Cloku pick up toward A main, and now it's Demo to shift back toward Extinct. Artist waiting for that peek that's not coming.
That might have been a little misplay here from Extinct. He grabbed the space, thought he had the frag, but Last Resort were not ready to bag. They get straight off the A site, rotates in towards B, and it's a first find.
Prism will pick up on one of his own. Plaid tries to enter the kill feed one more time, but as they come to a rest, it's Artist standing alone, up in hand. He'll find the plant and some extra funds, but he's really got to find a way to isolate these ones, and he might want to do it through the smoke here as he tucks into just on the other side. Pressure through, here's the flash. And he walks right into the op of Friend. I don't know if we've seen an op kill from Friend yet here on Anubis, so maybe that'll be the spark to rekindle the fire here.
Maybe. We didn't get to see it too often on Cash either, as they had some T-side struggles with that economy. But a great start now for BETCLIC, as I don't think Last Resort are doing anything wrong. They're grabbing water control quickly for free, essentially. They're grabbing mid control quickly for free, essentially. They just can't find the timings to split and hit that A site. You see them get all the way up to camera control with 1:25 on the clock. What? That's a super fast timing to grab that space, and they fumble the bag as they're corralled back towards B. 6-1 now. BETCLIC looking strong on the CT side.
I think the biggest problem with that A site is Dimho. The fact that this man is just gone insane. 12-2 through the first 7 rounds. And they're going to look to test him one more time. But as that utility comes into play, it makes this initial push tough. 130, and we'll stall out near water here for a bit.
This will be the first time Last Resort's kind of stalled for this amount of time. No mid-space gain. They don't have B space as Prism restricts it. And I think they have the picture painted quite pretty here. Friend on site just watching straight through camera, and as the barrage of utility hits towards A, that's the indication the Last Resort are going. This should be a spray down from Demho behind pillar.
And it feels like BETCLIC already knows this. They've already sent Exist here a while ago. They've sent Cloku toward mid, and unfortunately Exist gets caught in the animation. But who's here? It's Demho. This man is a brick wall. Finds the 2K. Friend will pick up 1 with the op to keep that player advantage, but as the plant goes down, 2v3 now, BETCLIC have to work together here.
This is where they thrive, though. They love these post plants. They love these retakes, and Extinct giving them the first one. No! Staples a double to the wall in locker room. And Cloku Dead Mike on the other side, 1v2.
Yeah, unfortunately, maybe you're wondering what happened to his two teammates leading the charge, caught with util in hand, and Extinct goes nuclear, a triple on the round, and they finally crack the code here toward the A site.
I don't think they should have cracked it that easily, though. A little miscommunication from BETCLIC as they had 3 supporting B main, or A main rather, and it just seemed like all 3 of them were kind of playing anti-flash. Dodging the pillar, Molly, I understand it. That's your position. You pass the info back, but to pull out a piece of utility as that smoke plumes instead of sitting stoic with your rifle for the hit seems a little crazy. And the last resort to push 5 through main on a weird timing like that, especially giving up all that information. Again, grabbing A main control is protocol 1. You push past that and you hit site, you're now going through a full space cleared with utility, then marching through that second smoke onto site. That should have never happened. That's a fumble from BETCLIC on that A site hold. And into round 9 we go, and look what it's done to the economy. Friend with 1650, Deagle in hand, exists. Money doesn't, as he has an MP9. And it's a perfect purchase for the last resort side, barring one Galil for Beeve, but he'll play entry frag anyways.
I wonder if maybe the fact that BETCLIC stumbled that last A hold there, if it creates a false sense of security as last resort wants to head back this direction, but Bev and Vacancy deal with it nicely. They've eliminated 2. It leaves Friend alone here with that Deagle. He's going to need at least 2 if he wants to make this a feasible round, but back toward E-Box. Look who's waiting, and he's good for the first. Extinct is on fire.
There's that push and pull that Anubis has been known for. This water control, deadly accurate as Artist finds the final. But that's the change of pace from the last resort. That's that heavy pressure towards A main. They understand how the rotates are being pulled. And as they find easy frags off the trade of Beeve towards A main with that Galil, they just rotate back. Easy does it. Last resort find their stride, but maybe too little too late as that T side starting to come to a conclusion here. They're going to need to find these last few rounds to be competitive, I think. This might be a freebie for them.
We flash back to the previous half, and it was 8-4 at halftime in favor of BETCLIC as well. I wonder how the history repeats itself. Artist Vacancy combined for 2. Transfers not there, though, as Prism will pick up on the 1. Stepping out, trying to keep watch over the weapons. He's Extinct, only good for the 1 on Prism. Friend to scoop that up, back up, but he's been a little bit cold with it here today. That's like a beautiful one, though.
1v2 isolates the first find. Beeve, not known, but Friend, ready to rock and roll. Second frag of the round, and this straight eco round that I called a freebie. Maybe I've glitched the system, because this happens way too often for me, I think. Oh, it's just Glocks? They should be fine. It comes down to a 1v1. Minute on the clock. Lots of time for Beeve to work with a full belt of utility, but Friend doesn't seem to be too afraid of this B site hold. He's gambling at all. I don't know. Bev, Beeve, Beeve, Bev. I think it's Beeve. The double V would make a V noise, right? Bev, Beeve. I guess it's the same V.
You know, I think about beverage, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Beaverage finds the final frag.
Leave it to Beaver.
Yeah, this is it.
But I mean, you talk about a turnaround for OB here. You know, we saw Cash that first half, I think 3 and 15, really begin to pick it up in the latter part of Cash. Had a couple big key moments, key rounds. And now we see something similar for them here on Anubis as they slowly start to reel this one back. An up shot from Friend. He says, I'm going to put it to use now. The one-hitter quitter claiming the life of Giraffe. See that boost toward mid here. That's Artist over the top. You look at the mini-map and nobody's home here.
That's the first time Last Resort hasn't tossed an immediate smoke towards E-Box side, and they get punished for it. Good opening pick, and of course you find Giraffe, the heavy hitter for Last Resort. And a good start to round number 11. More info gained here from BETCLIC is Vacancy. Home towards B, but not much longer.
Found another one. He's the heavy hitter this time around, 11 and 8, but with a single health. Eventually that nade will claim the life, and the strikes continue now. Last resort at a 2v4.
Extinct not really quiet about his intentions here, and they're going to understand this. BETCLIC don't need to rotate too much. They hold so much space as Prism just patrols B main. It does draw the rotate a friend over, but cautious of mind as they just set up for a retake towards B. Prism might be able to find one through the edge of the smoke here, but I think not.
Now the distraction toward the A site was beautiful. It caused it a little bit of an early rotation. It left Prism here alone, and the fact that he was stuck out toward Ivy allows them to smoke off that entry point, find this plant friend. Picking up the first one, and Artists, rare form, an unfortunate miss there, and Prism able to punish him. BETCLIC, they will get that minimum of a winning half.
And now, as I see the money in the bottom right, Artist is going to have enough with the loss bonus and the bomb plant to buy an op. But he'll also have enough to drop an AK if he AKs. So let's see if the greed from the IGL says op armor, second my teammate to a Galil, or if a double AK comes through. What would you prefer, Hot Sauce? Op, Galil, or double AK?
You know, it kind of depends on a couple things. The situation, the map, and how well is my opper hitting the shots today. After that little miss there at the end, you know, I mean, everybody misses, right? So I like to always give him that second chance, but putting the rifles in everybody's hands is probably the best decision.
And that's what he does. And he gives Beeve, the low performer from Cash, the AK this time. Giraffe as well, looking for another chance to take that E-box control, and no smoke again from Last Resort gives water control over to BETCLIC Apogee, but they've changed their pace as a flash to come in towards mid. Vacancy to toss.
Yeah, they mix it up a little bit. Stink not ready for it. Friend finding that shot. And now a player advantage to work with. I think, you know, we've seen Last Resort have a lot of success at mid. It's nice to see BETCLIC showing some face here and trying to put a stop to it. Jump shot not there. It exists. Oh my, are you kidding me? The triple raining down toward mid and BETCLIC. I mean, it just looking beautiful from the CT side here in Anubis, but we saw those struggles happen at halftime in that previous map as well. And that might be something that's lingering in the back of their minds here.
Maybe. This is sort of the same way Cash worked, though. And as we switch sides, CT may be the stronger. Last Resort are really going to have to cross their T's, dot their I's on this one. Mind their P's and Q's. How many more letters can we get out as the stake stats come through? 5.3 are the odds towards Last Resort. 1.12 for BETCLIC Apogee. No better time to get on stake. Use code PULSE35 with a $20 deposit and get $5 a day every day for 7 days, so long as you log in.
Doesn't want 35 3 doll hairs, baby.
Yeah, this is it. Why not? Good opening pick from Artists of that USP. They've pushed A main as well, so they know this B hit is coming. Tuck in tight and bolster that site. Artist and Extinct about to get tested. And if the timing works, BETCLIC might isolate them, but they're being slow on this one, and Beeve has arrived. Kit on site now.
We'll wait for those smokes to plume out. Pepper in some shots through. The Gush comes in the way of Extinct, though, and he's tucking tail here. 5 health is not enough. Cloku will punish him through the smoke, and as that plant goes down, we see him in toward E-box. It's vacancy. The double is there. Giraffe will find exist, and now Cloku's wondering where his teammates went. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, we saw that transpire, right? The mini-map never lies. The A main space was taken. The mantle up into carpets. As the Last Resort pieced that puzzle together, you can see the IGL there along with the new superstar on Anubis, Beeve, giggling to each other. But wait, perfect call. Good push of A main, good opening fight as well. And it just kind of isolates. BETCLIC didn't execute quick enough with the information gained. I think hindsight's 20/20, and the God overview that we have lets us know that we can say they were wrong. They don't know that just yet, but when they watch the demo back, they'll go, yeah, we should have executed maybe just a second prior to it. And if they would have been caught off that BB rotate, you never know, things could be different, but that's a fifth for last resort. Don't fumble the bag here, boys, as it's Galil's and Techies for the T side.
Instinct tucked in toward E-box. This pressure through mid again. Nobody home here. For last resort. All of this space is being eaten up. There's a lot of intel to be gathered here for BETCLIC.
Oh.
Little back and forth. Prism to vacancy. 1-for-1 trade does come in. Look at that bob all the way through Team CT side. If they can find something big here, it's exist onto extinct. BETCLIC mix up the strategies. They've made their way here and through the smoke. Giraffe will fall. Vacancy goes down as well. Just the last member of vacancy. Oh no, vacancy still standing. Excuse me, it was Bev that fell as I get confused in the kill feed here, and Friend will punish him.
Start of the round looked pretty good, right? Yeah, Artist plays trade in Temple. That's fine. You can see the rotate from B site as they realize mid is under contention. They just get off. They're like, yeah, no problem, dudes. We got extra utility. We'll play retake. And they stop. They kind of quell that push. But the wrap comes through, and it's Exist to poke and prod. He just kind of sprays through the smoke, finds himself 2 on unlikely timings. And BETCLIC Apogee pull the wool over Last Resort's eyes and post a 9th. And now there's a chance for the funny number or double digits for BETCLIC Apogee, which is probably the higher percentage chance of happening, as it's full rifles against upgraded pistols and armor.
Little time to take a breath of fresh air as things slow down for a moment. Beautiful chaos about to unfold here as we see Nade bringing out toward utility. Extinct popping some shots will fade away here. And I mean, are we going to see the Swag 7 put to good use? That's what I'm hoping for.
I doubt it. It's a very tough weapon to use on this map because although the angles seem tight, they're actually quite long range. Strike skill feed, as per the hot sauce request, it continues. The Artist Mag 7 doesn't do much. And it's weird. The Mag 7 to me is like the map you should be using the Mag 7 on, if you asked me, is a map like Dust 2, is a map like Mirage. Now it seems counterintuitive. You're like, oh my god, tight choke points on A main, in E-box, close on B main. But the Mag 7 is not the weapon for that. The flashes that come in clear those corners too quickly. You use it on a map like Mirage, you get stuck towards A ramp. No one flashes to clear that corner on A ramp. They swing hard on it, and that Mag 7 can work. Dust 2, very similar scenes towards long. There's no flash that clears long doors perfectly, and you can just play anti-flash. Mag 7 doesn't work its wonders as well as we might have thought here on Anubis. It should be a clean up towards B as the no-holds-bar execute comes through.
Yeah, they continue to pick them apart here. We hear the dings coming out, though. Bev will find a nice one with a USP. It's Cloku. And Bev actually gets 2 here. He has had a standout performance here on Anubis, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough as it looks like BETCLIC is going to look to close out their map pick. But hey, we all wanted to see Ancient, so still hoping we're blessed.
I hope so too, because realistically, both of these teams on their opponent's map pick struggle with utility. Both of these teams on their opponent's map pick can shoot back. When we get to Ancient, it's kind of combining that too. Early utility with a good fight forward protocol that both these teams have, that both these teams have fumbled a little bit in doing. So it could be a scrappy affair for a third, and BETCLIC one away from one away. And sending us to Ancient.
Giraffe will tuck down here. Chip down to 76 as the nade comes in for E-box. Extinct will eat a bit of that, but he doesn't bat an eye. He swings out, catches Prism, dishes out a ton of damage toward Friend, who's sitting at 29, and that's going to force Artist forward here. Maybe looking to take the fight, but he's going to use his better judgment here. Wait for that crossfire, and Giraffe will pick up on the Dimho. He's got an opportunity for another, and he nails it. Cloku finds Giraffe. They're aware that Friend is here on that op. And Extinct just missing the timing of the barrel coming through here.
Great fight forward for Last Resort. They changed the pace up a little bit, and no better time to do it than when your opponent thinks they have their foot on your throat. But now as 40 seconds goes by, regroup towards A main, and it's going to come down to Artist. No op in hand this time. Quick rotate of Extinct, but the utility might not be there. Don't fumble the bag on this one, Artist. It's one frag. That's all you need. Rotates will be late, so it's got to be patience from Extinct unless he wants to take his 1v1 and leave it on to Vacancy. Easy.
Easy spray from Artist. Red one more time. Flick of the wrist, and Cloku has found him, but with just a single health, this is going to be incredibly difficult. Extinct will deny the plant, find the pick, and Last Resort says, hey, we're not done just yet.
Not yet. Purchase might be a little bit weird for the T side right now. This might be a chance for Last Resort to close that gap. But if I do reference back towards Cash, I think this was the same score line, right? 11-6. And they fought all the way back to find that 13-11. Now, before I confirm that, let me go. let me just actually confirm that. I think it is the way. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row is what Last Resort found. So was that exact score line? Can they do it again? That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be absolutely insane. They look to write their name in the history books here today. An Artist not batting an eye. Doesn't appear to be looking at the mini-map as well. Something I drastically struggle with is Prism picking up on the Giraffe, and that'll force Artist back here.
That's something we've been kind of watching for too, the human emotion that's attached to the game, the information flow within their mind, and how long can they understand what's happening on the map. That comes down to team communication, what's held, what's not, what's been given up, what gaps are possible. And as it flows, Artist goes towards the B site to meet that bomb of BETCLIC, but he doesn't know it just yet. Prism to throw a 5 HP distract towards A site, and if this pulls rotates, it might be an easy opening site, as we saw BETCLIC's execute kind of clean over here. But an advanced stance from Last Resort, trying to say nay. Vacancy anti-flash. Artist on the line.
The fact that nobody's home toward this A site as well, and they're laboring this attack. We see Prism begin to work his way on, and start to understand that nobody's home here. They just hold this rotation coming in with only 40 seconds. They want to go. They step into the op shot of Artist. Vacancy finds Demo, and BETCLIC realizing that they may have made a mistake.
There's time for them to go all the way back. B trying to cut them off, but the cutoff is Prism instead. They can make it.
5 health. 10 seconds on the clock, and they're in toward the site. But look at A main. Look at that mini-map there. Bev is here. He's been the star on Anubis, but they tuck in, and Friend will find him. Beautiful timing here for BETCLIC, and it looked like it was about to go bad from worse, but they turned nothing into something. Vacancy. 14-14. That's broken even with that one. Prism. Cam here, and they don't know it. Easy spray, and now it just leaves Artist 23 health, a one-hitter quitter, and now Intel is known. He'll swap to the Galil, but BETCLIC knows they can be patient here. And ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy. There it is, BETCLIC. One more round.
That's what happens when you have a team that runs the default, right? You grab water control, you force back the E-box fight, you're holding B main the whole time, you've made presence in mid to force the op back. Late A main take gives everything over to Prism, and a long fight through finds success. Skin of their teeth to get 12, and now with 6 chances against the low buy. I don't want to call this ancient just yet, because the Last Resort never say die Goonie style, but this might just be too tall of a task.
Tall task, a big ask here for the Last Resort, but they are certainly up for it.
I love our rhymes, bro. It's so much fun.
Spitting that hot fire with my man, Mr. HB.
Trying to, at least, learning the rules, you know.
We
Patient
say
here
we
in
hope
this
cats
default.
have it half as much as fun as us. It's always a good time in the booth with you, brother.
Thanks, man. Patient default here. BETCLIC grab the first port of call. Mid. They say, we know you guys are on a low buy. We can read the economy as well as these casters can read it and chat can see it. And Last Resort have to deal with this, but that does apply weakness to other sides of the map, and the change of pace here from BETCLIC says B.
It's extinct. All alone. Utility rains down. Exist has found Artist and Vacancy at mid. Prism onto Extinction. Well, Anubis is Ancient at this point. It's old news. 13-6, your final score. BETCLIC puts the pedal to the metal. Ancient, though, you look at the stats, it feels like it favors Last Resort. They did their job on cash. They just need one more for a big upset.
This could have been very easily a 2-0, right? Yeah. 8 in a row on cash to allow us to come to Anubis where Last Resort are one to the good. That's a very tedious thing to do, and they found it anyways. Players look like they don't even want to get up from their server or from their seats, but it is what it is. Ancient map 3. Great job from BETCLIC to play patient on that CT side. Their T side even better, as realistically the Last Resort's default was good. They grabbed water control, but then it was just straight pounce, either through E-box or B, or straight into A main. They weren't super patient with it. On the other side, BETCLIC, they used that time as their 6th man, utility as their 7th, and Prism's flank, I guess, as an 8th, as they secure match or map victory. Ancient, map number 3, hot sauce. You ready for it?
I am ready. I mean, we looked at it, right? 15 maps played for the side of BETCLIC with a 47% win rate. 10 maps played with a 60% win rate on Ancient for the Last Resort. It feels like the map pool plays out in their favor, but you still have to be able to click heads. We're going to be looking for all of that and more. I believe we got a short break coming up, but before we get to all of that, there's still time, right? Head on over to Stake Pulse. Make sure you use code PULSE35. Deposit $20, log in every day for 7 days, and get a free 35 in your pocket. Mr. Henry, how we feeling? Any final words before we get ready for our break here?
No, I think it's about that time. 5-minute break, chat. We'll see you guys for the culmination. Ancient. 10 minutes. Peace. Map 3, Ancient, ready to rock and roll. BETCLIC and Last Resort pick up their own map picks. Now, BETCLIC a little bit smoother on Anubis than Last Resort's string of 8 to carry cash over the line in regulation. I'm still Mr. Henry Batten, joined by the handsome multicolored hair hot sauce. You ready for Green Mirage, my friend, or what?
I am so ready for Ancient, and I mean, just the way that the day has played out, I think has made this match that much more exciting. You look at, you know, Last Resort needing to get the job done on cash, but down, what was it, 11-5 or 11-4 or something at one point, and then powering back. A little bit of a tougher time on Anubis that we expected, but the fact that their stats slightly favor them when it comes to Ancient just makes this matchup so interesting to me. It's a chance for Last Resort to topple the likes of BETCLIC and really make a name for themselves, including a now 5-match win streak if they can complete it here today.
Yeah, the odds getting a little bit closer as we do go the distance for 3. Something I think both of us kind of guessed. You leaned a little bit BETCLIC-y, I leaned a little bit Last Resort-y. It is what it is. But if I have to talk about Ancient, I have to talk about utility, because that's the name of the game. Utility tossed from CT spawn, controls the map for about the first minute. And if that utility has any reference to me based on how I watched Anubis and Cash, I'd say the Last Resort edge out BETCLIC, but only by a little bit. only because I've seen missed molly, missed flash, missed smoke on cash from the BETCLIC side, and I didn't see them use too much technical util on their T side of Anubis. Now, they didn't really need it, but on Ancient you do. If you can block elbow, if you can block B doors, if you have good molly and push protocol, it should be pretty nice. But as we see the admin there, Guido helping out Beeve. A couple of shucks and jives as they interact quietly and professionally. What did I see?
We were giggling there because Beaver Bev was doing the 6-7 hand motion. So I knew that if you had seen it, you would have shouted it out. But I heard Jay Keat in the background. I know he caught onto it as well. But love to see the players having a good time before the match.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about keeping that energy, you know, comfortable, calm. Obviously, you're excited to be there. And so trying to enjoy that excitement, but also settle those nerves can be a tough task. I felt like if Last Resort took cash, that, you know, we could see them win on Ancient. But my mind has just gone back and forth with the way the day has gone. And the fact that they only get 6 on Anubis worries me a little bit, but it is a different map. And, you know, like you said, utility is such a key factor. Mid control, we saw that a lot on Ancient yesterday. So all things I'll be keeping my eye on early.
I hope BETCLIC can kind of just forget about cash. The fact that they let 8 in a row go the way of Last Resort and it closed out in regulation, a scary scene, especially because they were on 11 for that streak of 8. It is a bounce back, though, to stuff that 11-5 lead straight out and win 13-6. So maybe nerves calmed a little bit. Both these teams tend to play Ancient more than both these teams tend to play Cash and Anubis, right? We mentioned this. Anubis is like a 3rd, 4th map for BETCLIC. I think they picked it because Last Resort don't play it. Last Resort picked Cash because I think BETCLIC doesn't play it. But as we hit on Ancient, this is like a 2nd, maybe 3rd map for both these squads, so it should be comfortable, smooth sailing. We will start with a knife round, 4-side pick, but I think it's been done for us. Last Resort T-side start, which means BETCLIC probably secured that knife round. P250 for 2, Friend and Prism, friends of mine, because I use a P2000 as well. Utility for 1, and double set of utility for the T-side. A-side execute on the cards for Last Resort.
2000 guy as well, and I get some guff for that, but I don't mind.
I give it to you as I use it myself. You got a P2000, bro? What are you doing? You look over at me and I have the default skin P2000.
I changed his mind, guys. Don't let him lie to you. He's all because of me.
Yeah, this is it.
As I go off on a tangent, I'll reel it back into the matters at hand. It's Cloku for Donut. Extinct bot on the first pick, and Cloku through the smoke denies the plant. Vacancy can't get it down, and they'll buy some more time. Feeding forward, able to pick up on the prism. Oh! The USP delivering UPS packages to the dome. What a nasty pistol round for Cloku.
Oh, it makes me happy to see that. That's one of my favorite feelings, getting a multi-frag and finding 4-2 when you're tested at your limits. And he swings for the final frag, even gets one through the smoke, so a clean way to do it. Add to that, 2 of your teammates, 2 of your friends bought armor in the pistol and take 0 damage. You know what that means? $350 for a helmet, $2,900 upgrade to the rifle, and some utility to boot. But it is a force buyback for the T side. Mini-map, that's where you keep your eyes, chat. Watch that utility rain in and see how it forces the Last Resort into this narrow choke point BETCLIC Apogee have designed.
Yeah, I've always got my eye on that light armor first round because I know how excited you get.
I love it.
When they're not able to take any damage. I know. It's been implanted into me now as well, but Last Resort, Tech 9's in hand, the Mac 10 for Bev, who was that shining star on Anubis despite the game on Cash. And they pressure right in, but it's a firing squad waiting on the other side of the smoke, and they're dropping bodies in the dirt. Everybody getting a piece of the pie at the moment. Exist. Okay, Extinct with a Mac 10 and no health finds 2 through the smoke. Demo. Donut side will reel 1 back as Extinct baits out the plan, and he almost finds that one onto Demo as well.
I mean, not bad. $1,200 in the pocket of 1. You've damaged down 2 others. It is what it is. That's the force buyback, quelled by the CT side of BETCLIC. Happy to be there. Now it's got to be the eco territory, and we're going to watch this default come through. Early utility from the BETCLIC side should block most choke points, but instead Extinct, Hero AK. What's he want to get done here? Maybe they saw something for BETCLIC that they can take advantage of, but those odds seem to say nay, nay.
Yeah, despite the stats on HLTV, the consistency of BETCLIC may just shine through and exist, making it so that Last Resort seems to cease to exist at this point. Cloku finding Bev and 2 standing. Only a little bit of damage done toward Exist as Cloku is having a monstrous start here, and they need to find a way to snuff out that flame.
He might do it himself, right? The pendulum swings in Tier 2 quite hard. We feel the same thing, bro, in our Tier 7 competitive matches on Office. When you die at the beginning of the round and we're like, oh, now I just got to sit here for the next minute 40 players. And wait. Yeah, we're pro Office players. Test us, I dare you. And, yeah, I mean, it is going to be a nice purchase back for the T side, but this is where BETCLIC really need to dig those heels in. A 4-0 start would be beautiful. Their utility's already doing the damage. It's taking the space and holding it just fine. It's going to be the Last Resort. Going to probably have to pop through something as they seem to get poppy towards a site. Utility being set up by Extinct right now. And ahead of it they go. Vacancy first in. Op. No op on the CT side, just holding from a distance.
Yeah, that pressure didn't come through mid, so we saw Friend head back towards CT spawn, and as the smokes plume down on site, block off Donut Exists. Tough to see, but he's already found a couple picks through the smoke. See if he can channel that one more time as the plant begins to go down. Artist has found Friend towards spawn side. They've got a player advantage to work with and time on their side now. Just a couple kits in hand for BETCLIC, so they've got a little time to work with themselves. Demo leading that charge from CT side as the molly comes over the top.
This smoke in A-main gives them a gap, though.
Extinct has found one. He's found the second. And Extinct has found the triple. Dimho standing alone, and that 4th round will be denied. Last Resort comes up with a big one.
Anything you can do, I can do better, says Extinct. 4K on the rifle round this time to put the first on the board, and Last Resort's grouped tactic towards A finds success. Now, we saw BETCLIC make a plan to fight back into this. There was a gap in their A main smoke. Their molly towards green landed, but it forced that fight out of Brokey's side into Donut, and it's clean. Extinct up to 7 now. The rest of his team, 2 combined. It's not a great start for the rest of them, but Extinct carrying them across the line for their first. And another A-site hit. Blood in the water, maybe. But it is the big green this time. A Fiend over towards A. Fiend, Friend over towards A.
Yeah, you look at the other side, and it's Cloku with 7 as well. Maybe a battle of 2 juggernauts here on Ancient Friend. A little bit hit or miss with the op, but that flick was crispy clean. Backed off by the molly. Exist. Bet will be the next to fall, and Exist from Donut has been a staple here for BETCLIC. Friend, the give and go. They continue to reel Last Resort in. They line them up and knock them down. A flawless round. All 5 still standing for BETCLIC.
Little Ricky Bobby on the A site. Shake and or bake. It doesn't matter where they look. They take that first contact. They get fragged. They try to fight back onto it, and the crossfire comes through. Good utility usage from that red room flash as well. Gives Extinct a chance, or Exist a chance to find 2. Last Resort, well, down to their bottom dollar as they maybe don't force buy back into this one as much as I thought they would. Eyes on the mini-map chat. This is Space Gain from BETCLIC Apogee as Last Resort want to go back towards that catwalk crawl. If they spring straight up ramp, it's to their own demise. There's 3 here.
Oh, he almost catch the timing on Cloku, but he pulled out the MP9. As help from Prism, they combine for 3, but Bev, the run and gun and feeling fine with the Tech 9, baby. He's got 2 toward the backside, and the shot through the smoke litters damage into Exist. He's hanging on by a thread, but with 3 still standing. And their teammates they trust. BETCLIC now up to 5.
Great call from them to change the pace up, right? I understand the speed towards ramp works, but the change of pace was actually the BETCLIC side. Heavy utility usage towards the ramp side. They forego the mid control because they don't seem to care too much about it, and they stand tall. 4 frags found from the 2 site defense and an easy final cleanup. This does give Artist the op, but lacking utility for the Last Resort. They're going to have to play patient behind this. What I should expect in this round is patience. Take it slow, Last Resort. Don't do anything crazy. Mini-map will be set ablaze with smoke and flame, but this is by design. Wait behind it. Let them re-smoke doors and elbow. Who cares? There's no way BETCLIC are going to push through any of that space. Wait till a minute, maybe a minute 5. Execute out. Grab catwalk control and mid at the same time. Break that second wall of protocols. Grab grab Jaguar. Maybe fight into cave if you feel so tricky to do so. Grab red room or smoke it off. Grab donut and smoke it off. You have to grab 2 of those 3 spots. Then a nice execute late from Last Resort. The BETCLIC Apogee might have other plans.
I mean, it felt like they had a much better job on cash when they were reserved, when they were being patient, as you speak of, especially from this T side here.
Oh,
see a little bit of
nice.
that patience. Demo actually gets aggressive for once, and the nades eat him alive. Bev will find Cloku, and the nade gets broke open wide. Exist. He's gonna shift back into Donut. He's got a little help here, though, and it comes into fruition. Exist to Friend, combined for 2, and then they're immediately dealt with. Friend alone with the op, and, well, I smell a save in our hands.
Yeah, definitely. But the question I have to ask now is, how many times did Last Resort practice that exact play? Right? Molly towards mid, take the timing, understand the molly fades, the space to be gained by BETCLIC, and then a triple stack of nades to crush that elbow position. It also pops the smoke just enough for them to get ahead of a little bit of a timing, and with a good flash, they find that second frag. Cloku, nothing heard. Beautiful second here for Last Resort as that tack timeout comes back in spades. But they have to do it again as those bank accounts still pretty deep for the CT side, 5-2.
Again and again, it would feel like we always talk about the importance of being able to string multiple rounds in succession if you want to take games away from talented teams like BETCLIC. Last Resort looking to do that here on the Last Resort of Ancient. One final map to rule them all, and right now BETCLIC a commanding lead.
Yeah, but let's see what they can do in the darkness. Will it bind them? Ha 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 ha.
See what he did there?
See what I did there? All right, perfect purchase from both sides again. Eyes on that mini map. What's the pace here? Maybe a change from Last Resort as they want to try B ramp again.
He's gonna go right through them all. A vacancy is fearless. Looking to power through the fire and flames and trying to go insane, but Prism says denied. Pressure onto site. It's theirs to control, and vacancy toward the backside has found 2 more. Catches a bit of damage on the back end, but now on a 3v4. And you look there, just 1 kit in the hand of Cloku. Uh-oh.
Is that a third on
We
the
got
board
another
now for
save.
Last Resort? Yeah, it looks like it. Cloku on his way out, and the rigid play style of Last Resort that found them such success over on Cash comes back for 2 in a row now on the T side of Ancient. A straight A hit followed by a straight B hit. Well, I guess it's mid to A, so a little bit of a late A pounce, but it is what it is. 2 beautiful executes by design, scrimmed to perfection. Last Resort find a third. And this puggy style match is becoming more of a scrim style match where, hey, let's test whatever we can, whatever we know works, run it. But at some point, I think BETCLIC are going to play the rock to the scissors that is this Last Resort cutting through A and B site.
Well, they're going to want to do it soon because it seems like Last Resort has found their footing as they trudge to the trenches one more time. And now within 2. It was vacancy that just powered straight through the molly on B site, but they're mixing it up, and there's nobody home at A at the moment. We see that fast rotation coming in from Friend, but demo on the Bev. Friend does get there in time, and he gets vacancy trying to peek out onto site. Exist raining down over the top of Giraffe, and BETCLIC starting to find their way.
I like that your eyes are now getting drawn to the mini-map more when there's no fights going on, because you're calling that rotate of the Opera Friend, and I'm sitting here going, just waiting for a gap to be like the rotates in, and you call it perfectly. Great description of what's happening verbally as a 6th is posted for BETCLIC. Final frag found on Artis as he tried to do the damn thing. 1v4 too much as the scoreline now doubled.
Up to 6. Important to get that minimum of a tied half, especially from that CT side. And again, a little bit of weight off the shoulders for BETCLIC, but It always seems like Last Resort is that second half team. And so, you know, it's fun because it's a team that you can never count out.
No, Goonies never say die, bro. Goonies never say die. Back towards a little bit of B lead here. But again, that scrimmy style from Last Resort gets caught out. They tried the same play again towards mid, the pop of the smoke to find the frag, but depth was played and trades better. As the catwalk control doesn't really come through too quickly for Last Resort. BETCLIC just playing utility trade. Once they spot first contact, never mind. I was going to say, you get that kill on to the boost even the mid-fight would have came back through, but Exist gets told nay, as him and Prism play tether. But that would have been a
was ready for it, too. I mean, he had his crosshair up there, placed perfectly, just doesn't win the battle. And Bev, again, he's kind of been that staple here in these last two maps. The glue trying to hold Last Resort together as they search for this fourth round. They've got a player advantage to work with, and Demo getting aggressive out of A is going to give him a lot of intel here.
Yeah, that's a great first smoke, and the response here from BETCLIC is perfect. Yeah, they couldn't take mid control because they lost that first fight. Beeve, perfect find. And a smoke towards Jaguar slows them down just enough to collect that flank in time. But there is an escape route for Last Resort. They're just not sniffing it out.
How many completed figures? Big question. Finds the first, transfers, good for two, and he's got help. Exists the blind Prism. What a fine round for BETCLIC, and it seems like they're back to firing on all cylinders.
It's an early protocol. It's a great plan from the T side. Last Resort do by design what they know they should. Patience on towards mid. Flash as that boost peak comes up to clear into Jaguar, and they do it. But no acceleration. The only reason why that fight came through for Beeve is because Artist said X, Y, and Z is about to happen from BETCLIC. He makes the perfect call, executes perfectly, and he sends his rook in to smash the pawn in Jaguar. Does it. But there's no response after that. He doesn't activate the queen up ramp. He doesn't set the utility. He doesn't throw the pawns to the wind. And slowly but surely, that board restricts. And caught in a tight little choke point by a spray down and a missed smoke. Gives up the ghost. Nicely done for BETCLIC 4v5 to find a 7th.
These last couple rounds of the first half are going to be incredibly crucial here for both of these squads. A chance to tighten the gap for BETCLIC. A chance to start to run away with it here and Exist. This man just seems to know through these smokes here as he pops that one. No intel found, and he'll teeter back toward mid now.
They're wary of mid control, though. You can see the Jaguar still smoked off. There's a timing here for Exist, and it's probably coming through shortly. Smokes to fade, and he's going to fight forward with Cloak here. No, he's going to get himself out. You can't just stay here, bro. This is solo fights on the B ramp, and you can see Prism pressing forward. He knows that timing is elusive. One re-smoke to go on Catwalk, and Last Resort about to pounce.
Boku able to win this battle this time, though. Struggled in that previous round.
Oh,
what? Talk about sweet shit music, baby. Exist slides on out, finds a nice little two-piece chicken dinner. Cloku sprinkles a little seasoning on top. Giraffe will reel it back, but it's just that consolation prize. BETCLIC up to 8. And are every single one of these games today going to be an 8-4 half?
Well, yet to find out. The script was written months ago. We all know this. Right? But, yeah. Shawn Michaels. I love your references, bro. They're so fun. No one in chat gets it because they're not old. They're not old enough to get it, but maybe they will one day. 8-3 now. BETCLIC happy with that one as Last Resort kind of stutter step towards catwalk control. And it seemed like they had the read, but they just missed the timing. Beeve burning in towards mid as that molly lingers, and that's annoying. 52 points of health.
That's frustrating. Something I get irritated sometimes, but Demo from mid, and this BETCLIC, I mean, it just goes back to show their situational awareness on a map like Ancient. The amount of kills that they've got through smokes. Tenfold. Extinct picking up the kill, though. We're trying to reel it back, but you look at the health for Extinct and just 19 with AK in hand.
this is the time for Vacancy to step up, right? We saw him have a huge performance over on Cash. He was standing tall on Anubis, not super tall, but still standing. But now as he's kind of cowered in the corner at 2 and 10, MP7 needs to shred, and he's got to find at least 2 to pull this rotate off of a site.
I'm kind of surprised he's only got to and it came from that round where he just ran straight through the molly on that B site. And I thought, oh, my man's popping off. I should have glanced down a little sooner. 2 and 10, a bit of a struggle. But we've seen that from Last Resort, from this T side as well. Someone showing on Cash as Prism will find Vacancy, and unfortunately still riding that struggle bus. Flick of the wrist for Friend, and it's an easy op shot. Extinct, 19 health, and well, maybe on that extinct list as Exist will put him down. A 9-3 half as the 8-4 theme is broken, but can they call upon that 9-3 curse, as they say?
Well, they're probably hoping for it. They're hoping for some British player magic right now, as we can see their utility works, right? Last Resort, they make their utility land. They have some trick plays. They have good command and control, but Artist needs to make a call at the start of every round that runs deep. That call has to last a minute before he makes his next one, because if he doesn't, the individuals of Last Resort step to their own demise, beat to their own drum, whatever the saying is. 9-3, BETCLIC towards the A site, but so are Last Resort. 4-piece here, ready for this split.
Saw those odds at the middle of the screen there that just faded away. As the odds continue to shift, you can check them out on Stake. His demo will stake Artist's head to the wall. Prism will find Bev. And the troubles continue here for Last Resort. It's not a do or die in the pistol round, but you feel like it's an incredibly important one. And the fact that they've only got Giraffe with 9 health does spell trouble, but we've seen him hit the dinkers before. He's going to need 3.
Being clear in this corner. Fiend, knife. Friend, knife. No, good call. Whew. 10-3, double digits now, and it doesn't seem like this train is stopping. Again, no. We saw this on Cash. 8 in a row for Last Resort to take their map pick. We see this on Anubis. 11-5 scoreline where they fizzle out. BETCLIC just look like the better team right now, and if they can cross their T's, dot their I's, leave no stone unturned, check their P's and Q's, they should be up 13 quite quickly here. No force back on the CT side, so it should be a freebie. BETCLIC up to 11 as they pounce on B. Go slow on B. They stalk out B. Yes. Anything to do with a cat. Let's play with their food.
All 5 stacked here for Last Resort. They may have guessed correctly, but still having to deal with the rifles. And it's Cloku on the Galil, ripping rounds through bodies, and Prism finding Bev. Opportunities and chances slowly slipping through the grass to the fingers of Last Resort, and that 5-match win streak that was on the table may just be ended here by BETCLIC.
I feel terrible for Bev that time. His 2 teammates push down ramp. The Galil sprays them down. There's some support from Prism as he spams through the wood wall. He knocks Beeve down to 21, and you could see him there as we covered his cam. He's just kind of spinning in a circle, wondering what the hell is going on, where he's getting hit from. Utility reigns in, and it's a pretty comprehensive 11. Lack of helmets on the CT side. Going to make this Demho Mac 10 sing as they go straight back towards B site.
Last Resort will have to make their last stand here. They don't got too many rounds left. And Instinct to Artist, they combine for 3. It looked like Cloku was going to get in behind them, but they shut it down immediately. And this is the absolute best response that they could have asked for here. 5 still standing, and Friend's going to fade back.
Very much so. Now, what's Friend's play here? They got money to buy in the next round. Loss bonus 1,400, so it's not going to be perfect. Demho might be a little bit negative, but I don't think he'll care too much. Vacancy cannot upgrade that helmet for free, so it'll cost him money. Everybody else can for the time being. But if anybody can do this, it's the 12-2 offer for the BETCLIC side. 1v5 and a dream. But of course, this is also a French timeout. This is a chance for the boys to take a sip of water, think about what's going on. The game is within their grasp, and it should just be 4 on the other side. Still, 9 chances to close it out. 8 chances, I guess, to close it out.
I like this from Friend, right? Just being overly patient. There's so much time on the clock, so let's see if they get aggressive or go on the hunt for you. Maybe you can find a couple picks before you're taken out. Unfortunately, not going to be the case because Last Resort matches that patient, finds the final pick, and, well, they don't got much room for error here, so that comeback starts now.
This should be the final purchase on the T side as well. If they succumb to the disease that is the CT side Last Resort, then it might be a little bit of a save and that gap will close. Eyes on that mini-map. Trades of smoke and no more utility towards mid means BETCLIC want to go back towards B again. Change it up.
Roku's going right through the molly, and they're fearless as well. Demo for the first. Artist. Find the one-for-one trade playing together. Vacancy as they tether off each other. It's Prism to combine for two of his own. He's found the triple.
Wow.
Top of the plant, Bev, the last standing soldier here. He is Last Resort's last resort. Prism, 28 health, and if Bev can find a way to isolate these fights, it's a feasible round, but easier said than done.
Single smoke. Got a kit.
Woof. And he's found the first one.
Found.
But guess who's still standing? Our friend at 12-3, and maybe looking to play off the audio cue, but with a smoke in the way, it gets baited out. That smoke spray comes in. Friend, the reaction time is there. They'll get to map, match, and series point. One more round to shut it down, and with 8 chances, you feel like there's almost no way to fumble the bag.
Almost. There is almost no way, but a flawless round a flawless round just previously for the Last Resort is going to give them the money they need to get probably 3 rifles, 2 SMGs. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Mag 7 come into play here, but it's an MP9 instead as my economics go out the window. 4 rifles, MP9, good helping of utility, but it's back towards B again. As BETCLIC just applied so much pressure with this top smoke.
Triple flash from Giraffe that allows Bev to find the first. Mid completely opened up, but all the pressure's here on the A site. Prism shifting in front, and Extinct needed to find that one first. Instead, Artist goes down. Cloku gets the trade. 3v3, but health favoring Last Resort for a moment. Trigger Discipline is here, but he actually misses the timing. Luckily, Giraffe was tucked in. Now caught trying to pick up a rifle, though. Bev is going to punish Dimho. 2v2, 8 for Cloku. Time ticking away, and they still got a kid to work with. Bev, we talked about him being that Last Resort. He dinks down Friend here as well, and Bev, a monstrous round to keep Last Resort in it.
Nicely done. Back and forth affair means loss bonus not there for the T side. Bomb plant plus loss bonus 2 grand. So now it's a tricky situation, right? 1,900 plus 2 grand is not going to get you everything you need in the next, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a Tech Force buy. And we know what that means. B-site hit for BETCLIC, no doubt. They love this side of the map, but now would be the time to change it up. Swing mid with a flashbang, try to play trade, send your solo fraggers out. And I guess it's just the Cloku AK instead, as $2,000 in the bank account for BETCLIC is going to make their future purchase poor.
The hailstorm of nades rain down toward mid. It'll be Cloku who tucks in toward elbow. Maybe considering a little stack or a boost there, but teetering back toward the A site. We'll see a subtle rotation on the minimap. It's going to be Artist toward Red Room, and it's just Bev to hold down the A site.
Giraffe can stay tucked in here forever. This is mid control secured for Last Resort. They don't have to do anything. They're very aggressive towards ramp as well, but it's 5 solo fights for Last Resort. It has to be the spray, pray, run. And if Cloku has anything to say with it, it's just cannon fodder for him, as he's going to be maybe first up. Second, he's playing trade-off demo.
I'd love to see him second. Hate to see that rifle go down immediately and not get back on the boost over the top. Though he's already got a lot of damage peppered in. Demo, Prism both fall to the hands of Artist as the death digits claim a third. Cloku able to find one with the rifle, but where do they go from here? Bomb down in an awkward spot.
You just get a Deadliest Warrior reference in?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember we watched that
watched
Zombies
it together,
versus
bro.
Vampires? Yeah, that was hilarious.
You already know.
always expanding our vocabulary by watching other TV shows together, having fun with it. Don Cherry's Rockin' Sock'em Hockey, another one.
Yeah.
The 4v2 should be unlosable here for Last Resort. The AK still resides in the 26 HP hands of Cloku, and he resides in T-Spawn. Waiting to spawn here in round 19. Good 6th. 4 survive as well, bolstering the bank accounts and everything they should need moving forward. Artist might not be able to get the op as comfortably as he wants. And it should be a nice purchase coming back from BETCLIC. But it's not going to be great, right? That 3,900 4K purchase power going to be a little bit light on the utility, I think.
I mean, this is all great from Last Resort, but the fact is they've got to get 6 in a row, and the fact that BETCLIC only needs 1 of these next 6, you feel like at some point there's going to be a crack or a flaw that they can exploit here from Last Resort.
Let's see if they can get it done with some Galils and a couple AKs. Pretty perfect purchase on the CT side. Exist, isolates. Escape route is clear.
Confidence doesn't pay off because then he's been that arch nemesis on the other side. They play mid to a T. Vacancy catches the final 2, and Last Resort starting to turn that snowball into an avalanche. We'll see if they can reel it back in the next one.
Yeah, but is that avalanche, is it set off by design? Have BETCLIC, tried to do something like a set strat or an execute with the pressure of the LAN to say, yes, we can confirm we know how to run that, right?
Yeah.
But 5 chances, techies in a Glock, might not be the greatest way to start this round. Another B hit coming through, single flash, make it 2 as they run through the missed molly, but that nade.
You talk about running through the gauntlet. Last Resort just put him in a blender.
9 points of damage administered. That's it. It's a good confirmation on the other side now for Last Resort, saying, yeah, we can hold down B. We just lose Jaguar control because they're so powerful. Now, let's watch change pace from BETCLIC. They've run B ramp so much, it keeps 2 members on B site. A single flash is going to keep them tucked in tight. This should be Jaguar control, cat cross to collect mid, and BETCLIC should be moving quite quickly in my mind on this one.
Just here they put Cloku over here for a bit of smoke and mirrors, and they do gain that Jaguar presence. I think he heard this audio cue, though. There's pressure down ramp early here from Last Resort. Boost over the top. The flash is here as well, and they're going to hear the drop of Extinct. Friend! My man, how do you hit that? Artist was holding the line. Cloku finding Extinct, and now the dreams beginning to slip away for Last Resort. Giraffe out on a limb here as Exist will put him down. Vacancy. The final standing member, Cloku has got him. BETCLIC shuts it down 13-8. It was a great performance on Cash by Last Resort, but after that, it just felt like it was all BETCLIC here on this one.
I want to say it felt like BETCLIC the whole way through. Cash maybe, okay, we'll say the stars aligned for Last Resort, but finding 8 rounds in a row on LAN against a top 50 team in the world like BETCLIC, even though they've had a couple of new additions, beautifully done, right? But I don't think it should have happened. We slide over to Anubis, a little bit more of a deadly performance from the BETCLIC side. They just understand those fight points a little bit better. And then as we enter Ancient, we'll call it the strict default into execute style of Last Resort kind of fails them, right? They had some trick plays to take mid space. They had a couple of good executes onto the B site, but at the end of the day, BETCLIC's shooters came out to shoot, and they find that 2-1 berth into the upper bracket of Group B.
Yeah, I don't think this is the last we've heard from Last Resort, though. You look at that 4-match win streak. They've played some difficult teams, but now on this land, getting a real test. And this is some great experience to get under their belt. I think we've got a lot more to see from this squad going forward.
Very true. Now, an update from the other side of the bracket. Liquid received a forfeit win over at Putis. That team apparently forfeited out of this tournament, so the lower bracket matchup that was going to happen between Last Resort and them Not going to happen. Last resort now, patiently have to wait for BETCLIC Apogee and the liquid match that you're going to be able to find over on the A stream. And as for us on the B stream, I don't think there's much more from us for the day today. Hot Sauce, you got any final thoughts before we wrap this one up and send a nice fat raid to stream A?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a short but sweet day for us. Obviously, there's a couple more days ahead, so all the more reason to click that follow button down below so you can catch us back here at the same time, same place tomorrow. But as Mr. Henry Bat said, that A stream's still going to be going strong. A lot of great games over there, and you can still take advantage of code PULSE35, deposit 20, and get 35 free ones just by logging in every day for 7 days. We do want to give a big shout out to everybody behind the scenes making our jobs that much easier. Jay Keed holding it down, our eye in the sky, doing a wonderful job producing and observing. And of course, all the competitors here today, and as well as everybody hanging out with us in chat. You guys are the real ones that make it so much fun for us. So as always, we appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, that's it. Short and sweet. 16 teams. We lost one, and, well, we're not going to lose one today, but $60,000 on the line. Guys, we hope to see you back here tomorrow. That handsome man to my digital left, Mr. Henry Bat. My name is Hot Sauce. You guys have been beautiful. Please enjoy the rest of your day.